guys, Union Pacific Omaha here. Now today we're doing something I haven't done in a long time. We're doing a Locomotive roster. So I'm not going to talk or anything like that, so we're going to get right into this. So first, this is a Scale Trains operator, Norfolk Southern C44-9W with DCC and sound. So it's a good locomotive, runs good, sounds good now that I've upped the volume. And so it's a good locomotive that I like, priced around $150. This is a Bachmann, the Norfolk and Western Heritage unit. It's a ES44AC with sound. Now I highly recommend these. They're not the highest quality of locomotive, and neither is an operator. Operator's less detail, more value. But you can get these for like $100 or $89. You can get them for. So if you are looking for a cheap, good sounding heritage unit for NS, that is the way to go, in my opinion. So we're going to move the camera a little bit. Now we're going to move on to some UPs. So first, this one here is a Walther's mainline DCC sound ES44AC. I literally just got it, and I really like it. Same price around the operators. It's a good locomotive, sounds good. Really prototypical engine sounds, and when it's idling, does the whole GE thing where they like make some clunking sound. I don't actually know what the sound is, but yeah. So and then this one is a Scale Trains operator, ET44AC DCC sound, and it is also a nice locomotive. So yes, now let's move the tripod a little bit, move it a little closer. So this is I know there are some missing details on here, like the plow is missing from here, and this one has had some nose damage. It was unfortunately dropped, but here, let's make that a little better. So this is an MTH C44-9W with Proto Sound 3. You can get these new for $150 on Train World, on eBay. So they're really good value, especially being an MTH. They're great locomotives, and I highly recommend them. And then this is a Athearn Blue Box dummy C44-9W. Not a lot of detail, but you know, it's good to look in a consist if you're not looking to control more than one locomotive or so. So it's a good little roll along locomotive. So let's move to these two. This is an Athearn, also missing a ditch light and the plow. This is an Athearn Genesis, the Western Pacific Heritage Ace, 1983. It's a SD70 ACE with tsunami sound. I've had this one for a long time, and I was I was younger, so obviously there's a little bit of damage for me being careless, but that's my fault. And then let's move the camera a little bit more. This is the Rio Grande Heritage Unit, 1989, and another SD70 Ace. And this is from Walther's mainline. I've had some issues with both of these Aces recently. The Walther's mainline one, it's a lot better. The Genesis one, I'm still having some issues, but I still highly recommend. It's just kind of old, and excuse me, I'm not really sure what's wrong with it. I need to take it in and have it checked on. So these two, this is a Athearn Ready to Run SD60 with good detail, and it has DCC and sound. Got it brand new for $110 on eBay. Someone put sound in it, and then they just resold it. So that was a good purchase. This is a Heritage 3 operator C44-9W from BNSF. Same as the NS1. Good value, looks good, and so I'm happy with it. Need to pull this one up a little more. So this is another C44-9W. This is a Southern Pacific one. It's an Athearn Blue Box as well. And it just is a dummy. It just rolls along, and I apologize for my dogs barking. Moved over here. This is a Bachmann ACS 64 with also DCC and sound. It has some running issues sometimes, but most of the time it's great. Good locomotive, sounds great. So yeah, I recommend that one as well. Guys, I apologize for that little cut. Dogs would not stop barking. So we're going to get back into it. So okay guys, I apologize for that. My dogs would not stop barking, but we're going to get back into it now. Here's an Athearn Genesis GP38-2 with Tsunami Sound 2. Great locomotive, highly recommend it. Really realistic sounds, because I've been up close and personal with a ton of GP38-2, specifically number 500. Now this is in the old numbering. They've renumbered them, but it's an ex-Missouri Pacific. I think this is like number 805 now in real life, not UPY, just UP 805. So if you can find, it's roaming around somewhere on the UP system. You can find it somewhere. And then this is a Green Bay and Western Alco RS-17. I believe it's a Bowser or Proto 2000 with DCC and sound, and it sounds really good and cool. It's a cool locomotive. I don't know, my dad bought this one, and I run it as a short line railroad. The Pillion Public and Western is what I have my little short line road called. And I don't have any yard or anything for that railroad, but you know, it's a cool to run it with some older cars sometimes. So now we're gonna move over to my less used locomotives, and I rarely run these guys. So let's take a look. So here's a Bachmann DDA 40X, and with DCC and sound. And these, you can get these for cheap. They are not worth that much. This one, I tried to trade it in once. The guy wouldn't give me any more than $40 worth of value for a sound locomotive. So I obviously declined that because that's pretty much nothing, because you know he's got to make money off of it somehow, and nobody wants to buy these because there's so much better ones. So it's a good locomotive, but you better not have tight curves or this thing's not going to work for you. So here, this is a Rivarossi FEF3 Northern, just standard DC. It's a good locomotive. I've had some issues with it because it's older, but it's in the Greyhound scheme. This is number 838, so they still use this locomotive for parts, but it's never going to run again. They have it in Cheyenne, and they just use it for parts for 844, so yeah, this one's days are numbered, but it's a cool locomotive. So here we have two RF16 Shark Noses from Bachmann. They're both DCC. Or not two. This is a B unit right here. So they're obviously in Baltimore and Ohio paint, but they're really nice locomotives. I don't run them very often, but they can pull a lot, especially the B unit. The B unit seems it's really got weight to it, and it pulls well. So let's move on to my final two. Now these are both Proto 2000 Great Northern E8s. They look good. I don't run them often. They've had some missing details. They're pretty old, but they're good locomotives. So I appreciate you guys watching and take a look at my locomotives. So thanks for watching. Union Pacific Omaha out.